Hey everybody, it's Carl again. Thanks for joining me here. Just wanted to go ahead and share with you a couple tips. If you're a real estate agent, you've been following along now. You've been following along with the 23 best agent tips that I've learned in 23 years. Today we're going to talk about tip number 4, more money, more problems. You know, it absolutely is true. Biggie was right. More money, more problems. When you think about it, we tend to think the more money you have to make or have in your life, well, the fewer problems, the easier you're going to have it. Well, gosh, the less problems you're going to have. We tend to think, gosh, if I just had that money or his money or her money, if I had things that way, well, everything would be okay. The truth is, you spend a lot of time chasing the dollar, really only to discover that the problems you get really just increase. I've been in a lot of different positions here. You've been an agent on my own. I've been a team leader. I've been a team manager. Been a branch manager. Gosh, now I'm on my own again. And one of the things I've discovered is the more money you make in each one of these situations, in each one of these positions, the more problems you have. So, when you think about it, gosh, the more sellers you have, the more problems you get. More staff, that brings, gosh, a lot more expense every month. More tools, more ads you run, more programs you get. They all cost extra. I remember there was a period in time when I was spending at least $10,000 a month, and that can start to wear on you. So how do you solve this problem, right? How do you solve this problem if you're an agent, with this more money, more problems? Because as an agent, many times you find yourself in this dilemma, and it can actually be a dilemma, especially if you've never really made a lot of money in your life. You can close a couple of deals, and all of a sudden you've made quite a bit of money. And now you got to find out, what are you going to do with it? I know most of us say, well, spending the money is not going to be a problem. I just need to have it. And I get it, right? But let's start with a couple ideas, just maybe to give you a little bit more of a reasoned, rational approach, right? Point number 1, start with the end in mind, right? Start with the end in mind. Listen, if you're going to be like me, okay, if you're going to be really bad with money and spend too much, well, then at least learn how to make a bunch so that you can afford your bad habit, right? Well, I wrote down, start with the end in mind, because if you're starting out, it's tempting, super tempting, to throw money at your problems instead of working. You tend to think, well, gosh, if I just had this money, I'd throw at this problem and I'd have that auto dialer or this program or that program, and then I'd have all the money coming in and have all these leads. The reality is, however, if you spend more time working on your skills, more time working on yourself, more time working on your motivation, your mindset, the things that actually made a difference in a transaction, as opposed to fancy programs, you'd make a lot more money. And that's a painful truth. It really is. It's hard to hear this, because you have to look inside yourself and understand that the real reason why you haven't been making the money that you've wanted to make so far is simply because you've lacked something. Maybe you've lacked work ethic. Maybe you've lacked the skills. Maybe you've lacked just the time in. You got to learn your craft. Maybe you've lacked aggressiveness or closing dialogues or whatever. But when you think about it, it is very seldom the fact that you didn't have a program or this program or computer thing or app or whatever. Right? I wrote down, many people subscribe to the you can't make an omelet without breaking an egg theory. Right? You might have heard this theory before, the idea that says, in order for us to make something beautiful, in order for us to make a deal, we got to break an egg. We got to spend some money to make something happen. We got to spend some money to make some money. And if you're getting into high level of business, then yeah, I suppose that's probably true. If you really want to ramp your business up, you can spend thousands of dollars on Facebook and Instagram ads. There's a lot of things you can do in that realm. But by and large, for the average practitioner that I've seen in my practice in my 23 years, most people would go a lot further if you just spent time on your skills. Because, this whole idea that you got to break an egg to make an omelet implies that you know how to make an omelet in the first place. Well, what if you're a terrible chef? What if you don't have any tools? What if you don't have a spatula? What if you don't have a skillet and you're just cracking eggs just to make an omelet, but you don't have any of this stuff? You don't have any tools. You don't know how to do it. You're just cracking eggs all over the damn kitchen. Next thing you know, you got a mess. That's not professional. That's not smart. That's just dumb. And the people who say that are people who try to sell you on stuff that you don't need to buy. Here's what you need to do. You need to learn how to sell. You need to learn how to close. You need to learn how to interact with people. You need to learn how to lead generate and follow up and present, handle objections, close, do it all over again. Keep your mindset in the right place. There's so many things you need to do that cost you little or nothing, but rather we'd spend our money on ads and programs and apps. It's almost as if the gurus see us coming. Point number 2. All that for 1 point. Holy cow. Point number 2, I better speed up. Necessity is the mother of invention. Right? Necessity is the mother of invention. Right? Don't think throwing money into problems is going to give you the edge or get the job done. It doesn't do it. Okay? I have seen people in this business throw thousands of dollars, literally thousands of dollars, on marketing campaigns, radio ads, bus benches, print ads, you name it. Okay? Influencer marketing, you name it. But not have the skills to learn how to close a paper bag. What difference does it make if you generate the leads in the world? They could be the best leads. But if you're a head of lettuce and you don't know how to close a deal, then what good does it do? You think you're not a head of lettuce? Well, let me ask you a question. Why do 8 out of 10 people fail in this business? Oh, they didn't think they were heads of lettuce either. I know. They all quit because they were making too much money in real estate, right? Look, it oftentimes is the creative and the feisty in this business, all right, that really get the job done. It's that guy or that gal that looks at this situation and says, I will not be refused. Okay, because your knowledge of stats, the market conditions, the local situation in the market, all those things combined with your aggression, your natural aggression to get things done will help you find the clients you need, right? And lastly, I wrote down, you want to avoid the handcuffs. If you're an agent, avoid the handcuffs. Point number 3 of an expensive lifestyle. Avoid the handcuffs at all costs of an expensive lifestyle. There is a temptation. When you're younger and you're starting out in this business, I did the same thing. God, I know. Trust me. But the reality is you have to be very careful and not spend all your money on dumb shit. Okay? Going out and wasting it on watches and fancy cars and trips and yada. And look, don't spend your money on dumb stuff if you haven't paid your taxes. Don't spend your money on dumb stuff. Spend it on your education. Spend it on yourself, on your business, on things that are going to generate a tangible return. Okay? Don't go out and spend $250,000 on a watch simply because you can. That's just dumb. The problem is we tend to go out and buy expensive things to impress people we don't even like, who don't even care about you or me. And that is today's truth. Tell me what you guys thought. If this message was helpful, share it with your friends. Tell somebody else about it. And as always, I hope you have a powerful sales day. Bye-bye.